In the beginning, God created the Sn95 Mustang, and he looked at it and he said it was good. Then he said, the Sn95 shall not ride on 15-inch wheels only. So the 16-inch wheel was created, and then an astounding 17-inch wheel. This happened 29 years ago. Since then, man has sent a rover to Mars. And in 1994, the most powerful computer topped the list with 100 gigaflop marks. The phone we carry in our pockets is over 1,000 times faster. Earth has evolved so much in the last 29 years, except when it comes to increasing the wheel diameter on the 4th generation Mustang. Our intention is not to will shame to our small wheel brethren, but we hope to open your mind to the possibility of a wheel size beyond the 18-inch wheel.
Jeremiah.
All right, what's going on, my people? Welcome to the Sn95 Power channel. So I hear the chatter out there, and it's hit or miss. Either you love it, you hate it. It's a light switch. It's on or it's off. So what I'm talking about is this car. Oh, see if I get it in focus. That car right there. I gotta work on that camera work, y'all. So I'm trying. So I've had these wheels on the car for, pretty much the whole season. And I have to say, personally, I love it. I love the contrast of the, there it goes. I love the contrast of the black top with the red body lines, the black wheels with the polished lip. I really think all that really complements the car. Now, I did have my SVE drag set up on there, and with an all black wheel, it just doesn't look right. I'm going to myth bust some things on this episode. And so I hear a lot of chatter, and I just want to give you my honest opinion on how the car feels riding on 20-inch wheels. Now let's go over these wheels real quick. Now what we have here are the Weld Ventures. These are the poor man's S71s. We have a 20x9 in the front. This is a 255/30/20 tire. Over here in the rear, we have a 20x10.5 wheel, 285/30/20. Now it is a small tire, and yes, you can have a rough ride. But I'm gonna give you some honest opinions of me driving this car and what it feels like. I can say that there's not a huge difference from having 18s and 20s as far as ride quality. We have 18 inches on Project Kendra. We have 20s on this car. Coilovers in the front, progressive spring in the rear. This is a Mustang Unlimited spring in the rear. It's very stiff for a rear setup. That plays a lot into ride quality. Even up front, it's a Viking coilover. I forget the rate, but it's a little too stiff for a comfortable ride. Now, if you don't care about comfort and you just want something that handles like it's on rails, then throw this out the window. But if you are interested in ride quality and you want an honest opinion of how this car feels, hang around, let's get into it. So what I did is I made the suspension real soft. I started with the rear first. But because, I mean, you might notice in some of the earlier videos when I first took the car out, how I was just kind of bouncing all over the place in this car. I had it too firm. So I started off the rear, I went full soft, and then I went 3 clicks, or maybe it was 2 clicks towards firm. Took the car out, and it was 9-day difference, but it was still a little too harsh for me. made another click, softened it up some more, took the car out. It was perfect in the back, but the front was still a little bit too stiff. So I repeated the same process in the front. Went all the way soft, and since the front has more adjustability, I went 3 clicks towards firm. Took the car out. I was pretty happy with it. I haven't made any more adjustments in the front. So before I made the adjustments, all these little bumps that I'm going through right now, I would feel with this small tire. Now, all that's getting absorbed by the suspension. This is a bumpy road. Now before I made my adjustability, I took the car out on this road, I was bumping all over the place. I really didn't want to drive over 45, maybe 50 miles per hour. Now I'm cruising over this. And like I said, I'm more comfortable in this than in Project Kendra, because this has more adjustability. Like this bump right here. Before I made the adjustability, I felt every piece of it. Didn't even slow down. So I hear y'all when y'all talk about 20-inch rims, like, oh, this right here, like this transition in the road. Before, I would feel every piece of it. Now, the suspension is set up to absorb that. It makes a huge difference. So dare I say, to all you people who complain about big wheels, oh, the look, okay, I get the look. It's either you're gonna like it or you're gonna hate it. But for you who are saying that the ride's gonna be rough, like my streets have to be as smooth as diamond, that's just not true. It's only true if you have no adjustability to your suspension. I'm not getting on this, y'all, because I have a timing cover leak that I have to fix. Here's another rough street that I'm going down. Now, I'm not going to be stupid and think this car is a Ford Raptor and go over, you know, bumps at 90 miles per hour. But normal driving like this, yeah, it's fine. Now, are there potholes that are out here that could bend this wheel or bend this rim, these 20s? Absolutely. But, you know, you can't defy the laws of physics, but having a quality forged, this isn't forged, but a quality made rim might save you. Like these little bumps right here, like no sweat at all. I'm going over this to say this car is this low, because here's the thing. The more static you get, the harsher the ride. So you can have a 17-inch wheel and have this thing slam to the ground, you're gonna have a harsh ride. I have this thing pretty low. And do I have a little bump steer? Absolutely, but that's nothing to do with the diameter of the wheel. That's more to do with how low I have the suspension. So if I wanted to help alleviate some of the bump steer, then I would have to get a bump steer kit. Now I do need to take this to my suspension shop, Thowman's, because I have them handle all my suspension stuff. think the balance of these wheels might be janky because I kind of took it to a hood shop. No disrespect. But a lot of times if they don't calibrate their balancing machines, you know, the balance might not be great. But all little small stuff that I can do, and this car would be good to go. I have no regrets whatsoever with these 20s riding around, cruising. Like I said, this is not my daily driver. So leave a comment down below. Did I sway anybody? Did I change any of y'all mind? Did I open your mind to the possibility of big wheels on the Sn95? Like, I'm not trying to wheel shame anybody. Like, if you want to run 17s, 16s, 18s, whatever, that's your thing, and I respect that. But don't throw us big wheel guys to the side. Like, respect our game. Like, my man Greg, like, he was the first person I've known personally to have 20s on the new edge and look fabulous. He won Mustang Week with that setup. My friend Ken at Blue Oval Media, he has 19s. John doesn't own his car anymore, but his Cobra had 19s in the rear. So I know y'all smart out there, and you probably realized that that video was recorded earlier this season, but now that I'm releasing it, this gives me almost 2-3 months of reflection of how the ride quality is on this car, and my mind really hasn't changed. Although I do want a more comfortable ride, you know, stretch the legs on that car a little bit more. It will absorb the bumps better than I initially had the suspension set up for. You know, those strange, I think those are 10 ways. Those are really a drag shock and strut. But if I really want to go more ride quality, which I'm looking to do in 2024, part of my ultimate Sn95 build, I'm going to get rid of those strange shocks and struts and go with something that has a little bit more adjustability. So if you have a big wheel on your car, if it's a 20-inch wheel, I'm not really into anything bigger than a 20, but if you want a comfortable ride, if you want something that's not gonna rattle your brain out, boy, got skills. If you want something that's not gonna rattle your brain out, you gotta have an adjustable suspension. That's really what it comes down to. When I first put these wheels on, like I said in the video, the ride was harsh. I loosened stuff up. The ride is a lot better right now, but with these shocks and struts, I'm not gonna get the ride quality that I want. And in fact, I think the spring rates are too high on this car right now in the front, too high in the rear. So we'll get into this, like I say, when we get into the ultimate Sn95 build, but I'm going to change that up and we'll go over what options I have or what options are on the table for this car for 2024. So, hey, I appreciate y'all rocking with me with this video. Do me a solid, tell a couple of people about the channel, and until next time, God bless.